Craig Kimbrough, Positive Guru. That's positiveguru.com. As always, I'm glad to have you along for this journey, the world of spirituality, metaphysics, and meditation. Today's title and subject matter is From Ideas to Plans to Prosperity and Happiness. Every plan starts from an idea, and plans are quite essential in this world. They help us out. It helps to have a plan. I remember years and years ago, back when I first started really teaching meditation, a year or two into it, I did this talk, and I remember talking about how we were kids. We had these electric football sets, and we buy all the different teams and whatnot with the different colors. We had the Pittsburgh Steelers, the black and gold, and then you had the Vikings. I think it was purple and something, purple and yellow. Then of course we know the Lions, or the light blue and silver and whatnot. And some of it was about sometimes you thought you were doing something. You just had particular teams because their colors were so sweet. But we'd have the different teams playing against each other. We had this magnetic set, and my friends would have their team on one side, have mine on the other side, and we'd set up the plays as to how each player was going to go and whatnot. And they take off and they go, and they're coming at each other and so forth. And it was pretty cool. It was pretty fun. And I remember that there would always be, and it was like a magnetic set that made them go. But I remember there would always be this one player that would just not go to the destination, just be going in circles while everything else is going on. He's just going in circles, and it'll be annoying, But I picture that being us. We don't have a plan. We don't know where we're going. My teacher, Mr. Bristol, would say it, like this, like you'd be like Jack the Bear making tracks and getting nowhere. You just going in circles. You're not going anywhere. You don't know where you're going. And that's not a good feeling. How many of you all feel that way? I don't know where I'm going. I'm just going through the motions. Or if you have felt that way, that can be an uneasy feeling. I had that feeling not too long ago in my business because I had a couple of different directions I was thinking about going in. I hadn't really picked a direction, and it was just starting to get to me because I didn't know which direction I was going to go in with my gutter cleaning, window washing, pressure washing business. I just didn't know which direction to go in certain areas because the playing field is always changing. Ways of doing things are always changing. One of the things I had a hard time making up my mind on was just whether or not I would purchase another truck for the business, or I would just hire or continue to hire more contractors, and the contractors have their own trucks, and they primarily work in the business, and they're consistent. It's not like this contractor this week and this contractor that week. They're very consistent. The contractor I have been working for years with their own vehicles and their own equipment, and then sometimes they might have to rent some of my equipment. But I was really thinking about just putting a truck in there that's my own, in addition to the one minivan I have is my own, putting another one in there that's my own, in addition to the contractors, rather than hiring more contractors. And I said, well, this way it keeps me more flexible. I have a bigger choice as to who I want to hire. Just the pool gets larger, so we can be more selective. People who have even more experience. And sometimes we'll get someone who they'll contact us, even though we put out an advertising for contractors, and we get a lot of calls because they're getting half the job. And they'll say, well, I got this experience, I got that experience, and everything checks off, but they don't have the truck and they don't have the equipment. So I've been debating, do I do this or do I just keep going the way I was going? And I'm feeling like that guy going in circles, like man, I don't know which direction I'm going in, and I was feeling uneasy. Well, just recently, it came to me through a series of events. I felt like God spoke to me, the universe spoke to me and said, no, get another vehicle for the business. Another minivan, put it into the business, load it up with the equipment, and then even when your guys who have their own trucks don't have their own trucks, they can just jump in and use that one in addition to the other vehicle that I already have that's in there. And so I thought about it, and also I had an issue that I had too many miles on my F-150. I've got new F-150 2024. I love it. It's fully loaded. I just love it. But I got too many miles on it. I drive it too often. Even when I try to keep the miles off, because I have this red minivan that I use just for running around with that. It's a Kimbrough minivan, but I didn't use it in the business for guys going out on jobs because I would use it to do my estimates and flyers going out and things of that nature and all my running around. And still, I would have too many miles on the F-150 just from driving from the office to home every day and whatever other things we do driving around town. The idea came. Get a vehicle that you like. Put the red minivan into the business. Now you got your other truck in the business besides the contractors. You got your two main trucks in the business that are being used by the guys. And it's got the right look and everything. And it's got the right equipment and everything. Then part of the idea that came to me was, hey, you just do that at a low, they don't quite get 50%. Maybe they get 44%. But it's equipped. It's got the ladders, the hoses, the blowers, the pressure washers, the window cleaning equipment. Everything they need is in there. And so I decided, yeah, I'll do that. And I'll get a vehicle that I like, but I had this other truck in the business. So I got my additional truck. But in addition to that, I got something that I like driving around in addition to the F-150. I'll get something used. Well, I spent all last week and maybe a little bit before that looking for just the right vehicle. And I like the older Durangos, and I decided I'd get an older Durango. I mean, I was looking at some others too, but that was the one I came up with. And I did a lot of searching, and God led me to just the right one. Twice, the first one, the first one someone got before me, but the second one, it was just the right one, the right price and everything. I got it. 2018, clean. I love it. Love driving it. If I'm not in the F-150, I'm in that. I've had that for only a week now. One day I'm just driving. I haven't even put my other plan haven't even really fully put it into action as far as the other minivan, but I'm getting that together. But that's okay because our busy season hasn't started. This is a slower time. But I started driving the Durango to and from work and all the other places that I don't want to drive the F-150, and I may not want to drive the red minivan. One day I just looked up, I was feeling so good, I could not believe it. I mean, I was just feeling incredibly good, blissful. And I knew it was on account of me riding around in this Durango. Now, this is a $17,000 car. My other truck is a $70,000 truck. But I'm feeling so good riding around town in this. And it came to me. I'm feeling this good because my plan is going into action. I'm feeling so good because I'm no longer running around in circles trying to figure out which direction am I going to go in. Am I going to hire more contractors with their own trucks, or am I going to put more of my trucks in the business? Now I can do both, but I'm feeling good because I'm more flexible. I'm feeling good because I see where everything is going. And I mean, I've just been floating. And I realize it's the most beautiful thing when you have a plan and you put it into action and you see how it all comes together. It's the most beautiful thing. This morning, when I was thinking about what I was going to talk about, I had several different ideas. And at one point I decided, I said, you know what? I'm just going to chant my mantra. As I chant the mantra over and over as I'm getting ready, I got up extra early this morning and I had a few things I had to do before coming over here. I just chanted my mantra over and over and over again. And all of a sudden, it came to me. I'm going to talk about plans. Moving from ideas to plans, from plans to action, from action to satisfaction. It's just this incredible thing when you do it. And when it came, the inner sound started ringing. And then I realized right then and there that my plan worked. My plan is just chant my mantra and then know exactly what I wanted to talk about. It worked. It's the most beautiful thing when you have a plan and you put it in action. The F1 movie, that's one of the things I like so much about it. You know, I've talked about the F1 movie before with Brad Pitt, where he was this aged car driver, age compared to the other guys in the industry, whatnot. And he ended up being this fabulous winner. And he was the man with the plan. That's what they call the man with the plan. And on his team, he always had a plan. And that's why they were winning time after time after time, was because he had plans. And he didn't just have one plan. He had a plan A, he had a plan B, and he had a plan C. Now, in life is really wonderful when you have things that you want to move towards. It may be things you don't even know how it's going to get done, but still, make a plan A, make a plan B, and if you can, make a plan C. So if plan A doesn't work out, well, then I move to this direction right here. Plan B doesn't work out, then I move to that direction. And you're ready. If this doesn't work, then that works. Then that works. And it's a wonderful thing. Even when I bought the Durango, I said, hey, if it turns out not to be the way I want, I got another plan right here. and you have to have additional plans. And I figured out where everything was being funded, where I barely had to even spend any money. But once again, when you got to have a plan, and then when you do, you're feeling much more at peace, even if you don't know exactly how it's going to work. You already got a plan that you're executing. When I first went into the gutter and window cleaning business, I had a plan. My plan was, one, to work 8 hours every day, at least 8 hours every day, even if I didn't have the work. When I wasn't working, I was working to get the work. So we weren't out doing gutter cleaning. At that time we didn't do window washing and pressure washing and other stuff. But when I wasn't gutter cleaning, I was passing out flyers for gutter cleaning. I wasn't passing out flyers for gutter cleaning and things slowed down. There was a time in which we walked door to door and it worked in certain affluent areas. And we asked them. I remember I would see the cable guys and I saw them going from door to door saying, hey, do you have or Barden back then? You have Barden cable yet? And they say, no, well, we're in the area, we're offering a special for you to sign up for cable. I got my clipboard and I walked around. Have you had your gutters cleaned yet? Kimbrough's offering a special right now, just in case you don't have your gutters cleaned. And it worked. And that combination between doing those couple things kept us busy. Whenever we weren't working 8 hours, it was time to jump into the other mode. It was a plan. And it worked. And like I said, in life, we have to have plans. Now, if we have this meditation path, we add that to the plan. Sometimes the plan might be like I had a plan. I was to chant my mantra till the information came. Every day I'm going to chant my mantra. When I was wanting to have my business flourish, part of my plan was to flood my mind with the idea that I could be successful in business. I was listening to Earl Nightingale, The Strangest Secret, as I'm riding around in the car. I was listening to Wayne Dyer talking about things as I'm riding around in the car. I was listening to Les Brown as I rode around in the car. And if you hopped in my vehicle, you knew that you were going to hear that, because my plan was to convince myself that I could be successful. So I listened to things that told me that I was a success. I read books that told me that I was a success. And things magically come together. You can add this meditation to your plan. I'm going to meditate 2 times a day. In addition to that, I'm going to watch this uplifting material. I'm going to put myself in this type of atmosphere, and I'm going to do A, and I'm going to do B, and I'm going to do C. And I'm going to be open. I'm going to be open for when God tells me that, hey, we started off with this plan, and you had this plan, and you had that plan. But when things don't work out, take into account that maybe God has a plan that's higher. So you're meditating so you can catch that plan, and you're remembering that you're flowing with the universe. So as things seem to not be working out, you remind yourself that the universe has a plan. Maybe I should step back and watch and say, hey, what are you trying to tell me? And then you move forward with that plan. And you might have to change your A, B, and C again. If you do this, I guarantee you it will be successful. I guarantee you, you will be at peace. If you are making a plan, even if you don't know the plan's going to work, that's why you got a plan B. That's why you got a plan C. And you're adding your meditation to the plan. I guarantee you, you will be a success. I guarantee you, if you are moving forward with it, you will be at peace. So you got to have the plan, and you got to have the action. And plan for success. Plan for the life of your dreams. If you don't know what it is, make a plan to find out what it is. Until next time, peace and blessings to you all.
As soon as you started talking about the football,